Although there are a lot of different types of narcissists out there, from the outgoing and bombastic to the shy and introverted, or the proudly self-sacrificing narcissist, there are common traits that they all share. And what they all have in common is a powerful aversion to sharing authentic emotional vulnerability. So what other traits do they have in common? These are some of the things that you can pick up on the very first date with somebody. The first red flag is that they have planned your itinerary to a T, your date itinerary. And you have to hand it to your date. He or she picked the restaurant, effusively recommended things on the menu, and knew exactly what bar you should head to after dinner. And it might be nice to have someone plan everything out for you for a change, but narcissists, they call the shots for a very particular reason. Open-ended plans might end with them not getting their way, which is something that they do not respond well to. So instead of asking for what they want, narcissists often arrange events in order to make what they want happen. And if your date insists on planning out the entire date, it could be a really fun sweep you off your feet experience, but it could also signal something far more ominous in someone who demands that everything goes their way. They love bomb you. You're still waiting for your appetizers, and your date has already expounded on all the weekend getaways that you should plan, how well you click, and their clear interest in you may be alluring at first, but watch out, because love bombing, this is an overblown demonstration of affection, and it is meant to win somebody over. It's a marker of narcissism and the adoration. It is so intoxicating that you may ignore the fact that it's way too soon to be planning a future together. And if your date is using love bombing in order to hook you, in order to give he or she what she wants, you are most likely dealing with a narcissist. And what they want is more than likely physical intimacy, money, connections, or somebody who is taking care of them. Number 3 is that they're going to slip humble brags into your conversation. The narcissist brag. Most narcissists brag, but those who rate high on the narcissism scale have figured out ways to brag covertly, and this is because they are experts in impression management and have learned to keep their arrogance in check in some situations in the early stages of the relationship. So a highly skilled narcissist, they may casually mention the high-end gym that they belong to and that they only fly first class, and this is done with such subtle sophistication that their target may not even register that it's a red flag. And the less skilled narcissist will openly and obnoxiously discuss their Ivy League degree or the square footage of their brand new apartment. Number 4 is a really big red flag, at least it is for me, and that is that they are rude to wait staff. Pay attention to how your date treats your waiter. It is absolutely an indication of how they will eventually treat you. And how do they treat the waitress, the car hop, or the staff at the ice cream shop? Rudeness and arrogance signal low self-esteem, insecurity, and narcissism. And their rudeness to the waiter or the hostess could hint at pent-up rage and demanding and possibly emotionally or even physically abusive behavior. Number 5 is that they assure you that they are looking for long-term love, but most of their relationships have been very short-lived. So say you're on a date with a narcissist. They may tell you, hey, I'm looking for a life partner, but they can't seem to find anybody who's worth investing in. And chances are their relationships have frequently ended after intimacy is developed. So they're looking for this perfection in a partner, and usually they'll find some flaw into the relationship so that they can continue on with their search. And unfortunately for you and everybody else, the problem may lie with your date. Pay attention to the negative facts that people divulge about relationships early on in the relationship. Ignore vulnerability, bragging, and compliments. Pay attention to these other little tidbits that they're sharing with you. They pry about your insecurities, but never theirs. Narcissists, they will grill you about getting passed up for a promotion at work or joke about where you went to college, and they'll get unnerved if you put them in the hot seat. So if the two of you talk about your vulnerabilities or tough experiences that you've had, but they'll never really talk about their struggles. You'll feel like you're opening up until you realize you're the only one who has literally laid your soul bare. And it's a great strategy for a narcissist to feel stronger in an inherently uncomfortable situation. And it spells trouble down the line. And with a narcissist, it's likely that you will always be in the hot seat. So to sum things up, narcissists, they tend to be really good at great first impressions, coming across as super charismatic and personable, which is also why they perform quite well at job interviews. And often the image you see of someone who is narcissistic at the beginning can be very, very positive, but over the longer term, it turns out to be more negative. So that's where the surprise comes in. It's like, oh my gosh, this person I just hired is horrible. Look what I'm dealing with now. And not all narcissists are the loud and proud and braggy types and the ones that we usually picture when we're thinking about narcissists. And they can actually be quite quiet and reserved. Like with the vulnerable narcissists, they can be shy and introverted. So that's not to say that narcissists aren't always, or that they are always either grandiose or shy. And most people, there's elements of both shy narcissism and grandiose narcissism. And we like to put people in boxes, but when you really look at how personality traits present themselves, you see this separation only at extreme levels. So you could start talking to a person about how you have cancer, and pretty soon you'll be talking about their new car somehow. And it's all in the name of self-promotion. It's all in the name of their narcissism. They will tell stories about themselves, repeating the same things over and over and over. And the story will be about an instance of like a personal heroism or an exploit. But even when the story is of something negative that's happened, it's never the narcissist's fault. So there's this emotional victimization and this air of self-reverence. And it's about not being understood, or people not recognizing their value and how great they are, but how other people are not realizing it. My name is Sara Ann Brown, and this is Narcissistic Abuse 101. Hey guys, if you would like to donate to my cause, Narcissistic Abuse 101, click the Venmo link in my bio. And to those of you who have already donated, thank you guys so much.